Today we'll complete the law of cosines. The previous lesson, we looked at the law of cosines to find an unknown angle. Today, we are going to use the law of cosines, or cosine rule, to solve for unknown angles. The previous lesson, we looked at finding unknown sides. So today we'll focus on unknown angles. Just to recap from yesterday's lesson, we looked at the law of cosines, and to find the missing side, we use a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos angle A. Today, we are going to go to the next equation, cos angle A, and I'll elaborate on that in a minute. So the law of cosines, or cosine rule, states to find an unknown angle when we know all three sides is equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared divided by 2bc. Just to recap, whenever we're labeling triangle, the sides opposite the angle is in lowercase. And since we are using in our formula, we're using finding cos of A, we want our unknown side to be A. B, the side B, is opposite angle B, and side C is opposite angle C. A, B, and C are sides, and C is the angle opposite C, and B opposite side B, and C side C. So we use this rule when we know all three sides. So we cannot use this if we do not know all of the sides. If we don't know all of the sides, we may have to use the sine rule or the cosine rule, which uses a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A. We'll look at three examples to solve for unknown angles. Let's look at the first example. Here we're given triangle ABC, and we're asked to find angle A. The first step, we would like to label our triangle. In this case, we have angle A, so 8 will be equal to side B, so side A, because it is opposite angle A. 5 is opposite angle B, so therefore we refer to as side B. And 9 is opposite angle C. We label this as side C. So step 1, label sides and angles. Step 2, we write down what's given and what we need to find. So we're given side A, side B, side C, and we have to find angle A. Step 3, we'll record our cosine law. And this is where we'll record our formula. So I'll write it down. Cos A equals B squared plus C squared minus A squared divided by 2 BC. The next step I'd like to do is to substitute the given values. So step 3, step 4, given values into cosine rule. So we have cos A, B is 5. So we record our, so we given B is 5, so we record our B squared. C is 9. And A is 8. And divided by 2 times B, which is 9, so 5, times C, which is 9. I'll put brackets around these, so group them. So now we have cos A, 5 squared gives me 25 plus 81 minus 64. Divided by 2 times 5 is 10, 10 times 2 is 90. Simplify our numerator. (81) plus 25 is 106 minus 64 gives us 42 divided by 90. Now, if you don't have a graphing calculator, you may want to simplify this fraction into decimal. But cos A is my calculator. Here. (42) divided by 90. 0.466. So this is an irrational number. Next, we solve for the angle. To solve, since we're finding the angle, you have to use the inverse button in your calculator. And I'll walk you through step by step. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode. Step 1, you need to press your second button. cos button. We're finding the inverse of 0.4666. By the way, whenever you're finding the angle, the ratio here should always be less than 1. If it's not less than 1, check your calculation. Press cos. Now, you can go straight into 0.4666. Or you can enter 42 divided by 90, which I'll do. 42 divided by 90. 42 divided by 90, close bracket. Enter. And you'll press your equal button to get a result of 62.18 degrees. Theta is 62.18 degrees. So let's recap. We have to find angle A. So step 1, we label all sides and angles. Step 2, we record what's given and what need to be found. Step 3, we record our cosine rule, finding an unknown angle. Step 4, we substitute the given values into our cosine rule. Then we proceed to do our calculation. Because we're finding the angle, you have to use second cos button or the inverse cos button to arrive at our answer. Just a note, this value here should never be more than 1 when you're using a cosine. Let's look at an example from your workbook. And this is on page 14. I think it's on page 22 in your workbook. You're asked to find theta, missing angle. And since we're using a cosine law, and we know all 3 sides. The reason we're using the cosine law because we know all of the sides. We record our cosine formula here, cos A. Record step 1, label all sides and angles. Our unknown sides or angle we label as A. Unknown angle is A. Side opposite is A. We label the other sides B and C. Step 2, record was given and was we need to find. We given A is equal to 7. B is 6 kilometers. C, 9 kilometers. And we asked to find angle A. No. The next step, step 3, substitute given values into formula, which is cos angle A, or we could write theta, equal to B squared, which is 6 squared, plus C squared minus A squared divided by 2 times B, which is 6, times C, 9. Cos theta six squares, 36 plus 81, 7 squares, 49. 2 times 6, 18. 18 times 9 is 108. We can simplify this to be 68 over 100. Next, we'll use our graphing or calculator. Start off with, because we're finding the angle, whenever you find an angle, you have to use your inverse button. So I go to my trusted calculator. Second, cos. I'll enter directly 68 divided by 100. But if your calculator doesn't have that capability, you will simplify this to a decimal. And I'll show you both methods, but I'll show you the one you can use directly without simplifying first. Second, cos. I'll enter 68 over 100. And so press enter, or you may want to press equal button. To get a result of 47.15. Oh, should it be in 108? I made an error here. Should be 108, not 100. That will be called a transcription error if I were to mark my own work. So let's look right. So let's do that again. Second, cos 68 divided by 108. Now, gives me a result of 50.98 degrees. Theta 50.98 degrees. I can record that here, 50.98 degrees. And can highlight. We'll look at one other example. Example 4. Step 1, label sides and angles. Unknown angle BA, therefore our side would be labeled opposite BA. This is B, label side C. So record step 2 was given. What do you need to find? So you're given A, side A is equal to 124 kilometers, side B 87 kilometers, side C is 108. I'm going to find angle A, theta. Next step, we record our law of cosine formula for finding angle is cos A B squared plus C squared minus next we substitute. So we step 3. Step 4, substitute given values into our formula. Cos theta, we have B, which is 87 squared, plus C squared. Oh, it's 103, not 108. 103 squared, not 108. Correction. Minus 124 squared, which is A. Make sure I got that right. Yes. And 2 times B, 87, times 103. Simplify. You have 87 squared. So we'll get a calculator here. Maybe I'll either 7 squared. Let's simplify 69 plus 103 squared. 103 squared is 10,609. 124 squared is 15,376. 2 times 87 times 103 2 times 7 times 17, 9, 22. Simplify the numerator. We're left with, we have 78, 75, 69 plus 10609 minus 15,376. You left the numerator as 2802. And our denominator is 17,922. Next, we go to our calculator. We maintain our calculator work. So divide, we simplify. So we got 28. So I'll divide that by 17 and 922. I got an error. Therefore, I've done make some mistake there. Oh, I cannot divide. Didn't have any value first. 2802 divided by 17 and 922. So now we have the ratio is less than 1. It tells me I am likely on the right track. Now, if you don't have a regular scientific calculator like the one I have, you'll have to simplify, change your fraction to decimal, and then use your second or inverse cos button. So here, for example, I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to have now second cos, and I'll enter this value. I'll do exactly that now. In my calculator, I can put my answer in there, and I end up with a result of 81.0 degrees, or 81 degrees. Or you can go directly into this form here, and you end up with the same result. Second cos 2802 divided by 17,922. Second cos 2802 divided by 17,922, close bracket, with the same results. Recap: to find, whenever you're given 3 sides of an oblique triangle and you're asked to find the missing angle, we use the cosine rule for finding angles. The first step, we label the sides and angles, and always label the angle you are asked to find as angle A. It makes your calculation simpler. It doesn't mean you can't live with C or B. If you do, then you have to change the form of your cosine formula. Next step, we write down what's given, what you need to find. Third step, we record our formula. Fourth, we substitute our given values into our formula. And then we simplify, follow through. Once we simplify, we have to use our calculator and make sure your calculator is in degree mode. And because we are finding the angle, we have to use our second button or our inverse button. In some calculator, you'll see I and V. It's the same as your second button. And just a reminder, the ratio in this case must be less than 1. If it's not less than 1, somewhere along you made a calculation error, or you might have input your values incorrectly. So cosine, law of cosine, we use for an unknown angle, we use cosine of A equals B squared plus C squared minus A squared. And if we want to find for unknown sides, we use A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine angle A.